Hey everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Success Builders. So I'm super excited today. I have with us Angelina Kardash, who is an anti-aging wellness coach and entrepreneur. How are you doing today, Angelina?
Hi there. Yes, I'm doing great, and thanks for having me on your podcast today. I'm excited to have this conversation with you.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. And where are you calling in from?
So I'm in Reno, Nevada, and surrounded by the beautiful mountains, and the ski season is open, by the way. So, I'm excited to go skiing very soon.
Oh, so cool. Um, I know of someone who does snowboarding. Snowboarding is pretty cool as well. Do they have that there as well?
Of course, yeah. I mean, it's a full blown ski resorts. We have snowboarders. We have skiers here. Yeah, I'm skiing all my life, so I've tried snowboarding one time. Didn't work for me so much, so I'm like kind of old school. So I'm stick to skiing.
Okay, cool, sweet. Well, please post on your socials some of your skiing adventures. We'd love to see it. And our audience is very interested to learn about you and about your journey and what led you to be here today.
Yeah, it's a great question. I would say that my journey has been unexpected, to say at least. I've spent 20 plus years in Silicon Valley in, like actually leading the executive roles, leading global IT teams, working late nights, being stressed out about my job. And as I pursue this high demanding career in Silicon Valley, climbing the corporate ladder for so many years, it eventually took a toll on my health, and I began experiencing like serious health issues as about I was 35 years old. And that time I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and I spent half of decade undergoing like different traditional healthcare treatments, including various medications and prescriptions, from my doctors. And as you know, like this traditional healthcare system doesn't treat body as a whole; it treats every single symptoms. And fibromyalgia, it was something that actually, impacted my overall health. And I've experienced, like I call it like 1,001 symptoms in my body, and every single doctor, was giving me treatment for that specific symptom. So it didn't improve my health. Actually, on contrary, my health continued to decline with years. And later in my life, at age 42, after giving birth to my precious young daughter, I was diagnosed with an incurable autoimmune liver disease. And
Wow.
that day, my doctor told me that I eventually will need a liver transplant. So at that moment, I realized that I had two choices: to continue follow the what's so-called like a sick care system, right? That, giving me more medications, and I saw that it's just not working for me. And or, take my, health in my own hands, right? So take control of my health. So, and that was kind of, the breakthrough for me, the breaking point in my life. Just fast forward, like 8 years from that point of time, I really researched a lot. I trained a lot. I was doing a lot of testing. I coached with all those amazing people, with industry pioneers, with scientists, with doctors, with I was following biohackers. And what I've covered on this health and wellness journey is there is a strategies, the tools that actually help me to recover from my diagnosis. So I recover. I don't have this, and I am actually living my peak life right now in a peak state. And just as I experienced this, journey myself, going, through, all those, experiences of the last 8 years of my life, I realized that other people can benefit from lessons that I've learned. And I began sharing my story, with people. I, 4 years ago, I actually hosted the summit where, I invited all those celebrity doctors, and we talked about the concept of, reversing diseases, with kind of, holistic approaches. And that was, kind of the driver for me. Like more people started to be interested in my story and ask me, how did I do that? And I just love sharing how we're not just set in stone by our genetics. And what I've learned is that genes are only 10% and the remaining is like 90%. And what is shaped by our choices, by our environment and habits. So this is, what we call epigenetics, and how the epigenetics can differently, express our genes. So we can turn on good genes, we can turn on bad genes. So again, I mean, there is a power, for us to heal. And that was so fundamental in my story, just, understanding that. And this is what I am passionate about, teaching, other people, that we can reclaim our health and vitality. And no matter, I mean, the challenges, the health challenges that we experience in our life. And that time it was my, kind of, and still, I mean, it's my true calling, it's my passion. So I decided to leave corporate world. And actually, I and where I am today is I'm coaching people with my system for anti-aging, cellular rejuvenation, and just for creating, powerful vision, for people's lives, so they can take charge of their health, of, their vitality. And I'm really passionate about teaching people to become the CEO of their own health. So that's my story, from being where I was there many years ago to where I am now.
Wow, that's a really amazing story, and I'm so glad that your health has turned a new leaf, and that you are feeling so much better now. That's really amazing, coming from where you were to where you are now. That's a true inspiration story, and thank you for sharing that. So now you need to give us some of the juice, right? You need to tell us a little bit about your system, because you mentioned you have an anti-aging and cellular rejuvenation system that transforms health and vitality. So I'm pretty sure, like me, everyone's interested to find out a little bit more about how that works. So tell us about that.
Sure, great question. Yeah, so uh, bef before we dive into that, can I ask a question,
Yeah,
Ricardo?
sure.
What do you think is the tiniest, but yet most powerful unit of our body, the one that determines your energy, health, and even how old you are? The tiniest, like a unit of our body. What do you think it is?
Oh, okay, that's a good question. It'd be something on the atomic level, so like
Yes,
atoms or
absolutely.
neutrons or something like that.
Cells. Yes, cells.
Cells,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, cells. Yeah. So, and this is the answer, Ricardo. This is the answer. It's very simple. It's in your cells, because cells are building blocks of our life and the foundation of everything that, our body does every single day. And when your cells are healthy, right? So the entire body thrives. And when they start to break down, there is an effect that's showing on our aging, right? So both inside and both outside. So what is exactly aging? Aging, in simple terms, it's when our cells start to weaken and they lose the structure, and the DNA inside of them starts to, like come apart and break down. And that leads to visible signs. Like we have declining energy, we lack mobility, we have gray hair, we have wrinkles, we have saggy skin, right? So those are all the, kind of signs of aging. And we all want to delay that, right? So
Yeah,
how many
exactly.
of you out there, want to delay the aging process, right?
Yeah, it's
And
me.
here's right, yes, me too. And here's a question, what causes this breakdown, right? So, and I just wanted to give you an example. There are like three main reasons why our cells break down and age. It comes to three things. The first thing is inflammation, cellular inflammation. The second thing is lacking detoxification. And the third thing is poor oxidation. So I really want to just, very quickly drill down into that, because it's all related to the, to the anti-aging system. So
Yeah, sure.
the first thing is cellular inflammation. Like when you think about like inflammation, it's our body's way to protect ourselves, right? So
Hmm.
it's how our immune system responds to injury or infection, right? So we get high fever, right? So that's inflammation, right? So it's how our body actually protects ourselves, so we get in fever. So, and this is why we should not actually put fear down unless it's, like above, 40 Celsius, right? So we need our body to work it out. So
Mm.
it's our immune system, right? So how many parents out there actually, when, their child experience, like a 37 Celsius and they're already put them on the Tylenol, right? So they're killing their immune system. Anyway, that's for a different conversation. But so when inflammation become chronic, that's when we, like start having issues, right? So, and it starts to damage your cells instead of helping them. It's like fire in a forest. It's, quickly spreading out, right?
Yes,
So
yes,
in your body. So, and that inflammatory process, so this is chronic inflammation in your cells, leads to wrinkles, joint pain, even, like serious diseases, right? So autoimmunity, all of that. And how does this happen? It often triggers by, like so many factors, but primary ones are poor diet, especially, like too much sugar, processed food, bad fats, right? So another thing is stress. And as we all know, stress can be good and bad, right? So, the lack of sleep, that's another underestimated one, right? So how many people out there underestimate sleep in our culture, right? Working like 5, 6 hours a day. But what sleep is, it's actually ages us by a decade lack of sleep. Can you imagine that? As like also, like people who sleep less than 6 hours, they have testosterone levels, of people who are 10 years older than they are
yes.
now. I mean, there are so many impact. So again, we just talked about inflammation. Now let's talk about toxins. So I always love using this analogy. So our body has this bucket built in, kind of, right? And it basically like kind of loads with all the toxic exposure that we receive from food chain, right? So, all this pollution from products we use on our skin, from air we breathe, from the water, from everything, right? Even, through clothes that, we wear, right? So, I mean, like it just a toxic load, non-stop toxic load. And when your detox systems are not working properly, because we have inside of our bodies detox systems, right? So, and we do have this mechanism that actually detoxify. For some people, it works well. For some people, it does not work well. And actually getting down to your DNA, which I'm going to touch in a second. But again, I mean, if your function is working right, so that's okay. So you have this system, in place. But when you have too much exposure to all those toxins, right? So they're just, overflowing this bucket and it starts leaking. And this is where you start to get, all those problems, right? So, this is where you get cellular inflammation. And, because of, this, like a toxins, and you don't have a good ways of releasing these toxins outside of body. And that actually creates inflammation of your cell, damages your cell, right? So your cells, because of the toxins, they cannot get nutrients in and waste out. And this is what it's called, like a cellular inflammation. Again, I mean, the toxins play a huge role. Okay. So, and the third factor that I want to touch is oxidation, because every time our cells create energy, they use oxygen. And that's more normal. It's kind of, part of how our body works. But when this process gets out of balance, right? So it creates something that called free radicals. And this is called oxidative stress. And this is the major cause of aging. And I always love talking about this story when we consume sugar. So, for instance, I mean, we consume sugar, and when we consume sugar, so the sugar molecules, when it bumps into other molecules, right? So it actually damages it other molecule, actually producing this like oxidative stress. And this is the process called glycation. So this is why we need to control our blood glucose spikes so we do not age, because glycation is the same thing as aging. So again, I mean, there are so many things that creates oxidative stress, but one of the things is, also, like a sugar in our body. So what it all means, because I mean, I use all those fancy terms today, like inflammation, toxins, oxidative stress, they're all connected. And
Yes.
we actually get worse, and we're kind of creating a cycle of damage that speeds up our aging. But the exciting part, that by addressing the root cause, we can break the cycle, right? And this is exactly what I call it vital ageless you system that is based on the cellular rejuvenation method. This is, what actually helps you to detox your body, to protect your cells so you can, look and feel younger, so your cells can actually heal and they can produce enough ATP energy, right? That we need for functioning of our body. So you have more energy, you have more vitality, so you can thrive, with age. So you delay your aging process. So it's all about that. So like, what are the fundamentals that we can do right in our life to control, to lower the inflammation, to get rid of toxins, and to get rid of the oxidative stress on the cellular level.
Awesome, awesome. That sounds really cool. Now, how does your program work? Like, just sort of take us through the journey. Like, if I wanted to go on the program,
Yeah.
what would I expect exactly?
Yeah. So, I mean, there are several steps, right, in the program. And first one is actually, cellular rejuvenation blueprint. And this is, where your lifestyle, because again, I mean, we talked about epigenetics, right? So with the lifestyle, we can, influence our epigenetic profile so we can start turning good genes on and bad genes off. And how we do that, we do it with this, cellular rejuvenation blueprint. So how do we eat, right? So I mean, our nutrition, and then it's all about the whole aspect of of the whole lifestyle. So nutritional blueprint, and your stress level, and your sleep, and cellular detoxification. So everything is built in this blueprint, so you can start apply those modalities, right, to actually fix your cells and to delay aging process, right? And also and this the second thing, and how we do that, we do it through the basically the power of neuroscience and building atomic habits. Because again, I mean, like, we cannot do everything at once, so people are not going to be successful. So it's about actually building the atomic habits, and having this big why behind it, why I want basically all those things in my life. And looking at your also your genes, because there is so much information out there, right, Ricardo? I mean, we
Oh, this, thank you.
daily listen from all those biohackers and doctors. You need to take that supplement, you need to follow that protocol, you need to do that. And I'm not saying they're wrong. No, they're it all have place. However, we're all different. Our biology is different, and it's all rooted in our genetic, footprint. So getting down to your, DNA and figuring out, so, okay, so based on my DNA, what are the things that works for me? So that's, another, like a big step. So actually, personalized, so personalized like a cellular rejuvenation blueprints, what is gonna, what is gonna work for you. And the whole assessment, because we also do, the whole cellular assessment. So what's not working in your body, and now knowing your genetic blueprint, what we can do to help you basically, like release toxins. Because I mean, our detox pathways work in a different manner, for different people,
Yeah.
based on your genetic profile. So what are the things that can help? Maybe you have your system working well, maybe you're not, so you will need a different supplement. Maybe you need a different modality. Is cold plunging works for everyone? No, for some people it actually can create more stress into their body. Is it, how should I exercise? Should I do heat? Should I do like body weights? It's the answers is very personalized, because we're all different. So again, I mean, what we help people is to like assess you at the first level, and then take you through the blueprint, so you can start building what's not working, so you can start getting. So again, I mean, your cellular health is getting nutrients inside of your cell, so it can actually find nutrients, minerals, everything, and then getting the waste out. So that's the essence of that. But the vehicle is is different for everyone else.
That's amazing. So, from what I see, is you're taking a consultative approach. So, rather than the other health professionals that are almost lecturing, they're saying, "Oh, you must do this, you must do that," but it's more like a blanket approach. It doesn't, um, help the individual's personal circumstances and, their bodily makeup. So it's just a general sort of advice, but what you're doing is totally bespoke and totally personal. So that is really amazing because when you target that way, you will be able to get the best results, I believe, anyway. And
That's
speaking of results, what are the typical results that someone would be looking to get out of this program?
Oh, great question. Yes. Again, I mean, based on, people's needs, based on their challenges, right? So we work with, middle-aged, like men and women, like usually, I mean, they're like very busy professionals and they're just, basically, driving their businesses and they completely neglect their health. But, at this age, everyone have metabolic dysfunction. And metabolic dysfunction, I mean, there was, like a five actually measures that actually tell you that you have metabolic dysfunction. And first one is just, your waist measurements. So there is a certain, for women, if your waist measurements is above 33 inches, so you're already metabolically unhealthy. So, and again, metabolic dysfunction leads to, it's kind of, the root cause of everything else. I mean, down to Alzheimer, down to everything. So, I mean, like literally what we help people is, like helping them to create metabolic health, whether it's like your blood glucose, even some people come to us with type 2 diabetes, right? They already been diagnosed, but there are so many years before that that actually lead to type 2 diabetes, even for pre-diabetes, right? Because you start to fluctuate. I mean, your blood glucose, spike, you can see that. And we can help you to detect that. I mean, whether you have blood glucose spikes, how you react to that. That's, one of the things, like that we do, right? So again, I mean, like getting your metabolic, like health under control with, everything that, we help you. Again, type 2 diabetes, pre-diabetes, you have, problem with losing weight, you have hormonal changes, right? So I mean, your hormones are out of whack, and our actual hormones dictate everything in our body, right? And there's a big connection between hormones and your cellular health. And we're also, like I help you to, to see that connection, and we teach people about, how basically, like hormones is, like really, like depends on your cellular health. So people come to us with all variety of issues down to autoimmunity. So again, everyone has different objectives, have different goals, but again, I mean everything else including the reversal, because some people, I work with people who think that they're healthy because again, I mean they're just lacking this information, and they're actually, we pinpoint them to, being like outside of the normal measurements for their, weight circumstances, right? So, and they just don't see that. They're saying, I mean, we're healthy, we don't have my, we are completely healthy, because maybe they don't feel bad, maybe they don't, not looking in a way that you're, like they're drained or anything like that. Because there are a lot, I mean, there are like 4 or 5 factors that actually give you answer why when you have a metabolic disorder. So again, I mean, whether you want to lose weight, whether you want to obtain more energy, whether you want to look 10 years younger. Again, I mean, if you go through, all this program, you figure out your health, you're going to look 10 years younger. And I mean, like we share that. I mean, like here's a pictures of, like of people that work with us, and, they become 10 years. So there are so many things, and it really depends on, your objective. So whether you want to heal, whether you want to recover from something that you're having now, or whether you want just to have a longer and healthier life. So it's not just longevity, it's your health span, right? And you want to delay the aging process. So that's everything is connected, Ricardo. So it's
That's
not just,
fantastic.
yeah.
And now I'm just thinking, would there be an application for sports and athletes to basically get an extra edge and to improve their performance. Do you think that this program could be for them as well?
Absolutely. We actually work with military guys.
Oh, wow.
We've got military guys in our program. Yes, absolutely. I mean, like it just, brings your stamina. It's, just, improves your, like energy levels. It's, it improves, again, I mean, your health profiles. I mean, even if you're athlete doesn't mean that, I mean, your, health is under control, right? So, I mean,
Yeah.
we actually no athlete who do not have, their health under control. There are people who, struggle with, high cholesterol, right? For instance, or, with elevated blood sugar, right? So that is already shown on there. So there, yeah, so there is an application everywhere, application like everywhere, because this is fundamentals of your health.
Fantastic, thank you. So we've discussed the type of results that people are generally looking to achieve, but now let's take a bit of a different approach and let's discuss like what holds people back traditionally from achieving these results.
Yeah, it's a great question. So I would say a lot of people think that it's too late or it's too far gone or I'm too old, right? And again, I mean, with the understanding that I mean, like at any point of time, we have the power basically to influence our epigenome. I mean, that's the whole beauty of that. Even we have clients who are in their like 70s, like late 60s, right? And they get tons of value, and I mean they just completely transform their health. So it doesn't really matter what age you are or how far it's gone, because I mean like miraculous story happens, right? Again, I mean we're all different. And like I personally recovered from autoimmune disease when I got into, when I started researching my journey. So, I mean, the first day that I've done, I discovered that I have this autoimmunity. I've, like looked up the profile of people who were sick with cancers and with autoimmunity. And there's, like a general things that everyone pinpoints into their, health journey. I never at that time, I never heard about inflammation. I never heard about the toxins. I never heard about, like a cleaning our environment or, like a water, from the toxins, how to, about, like any, specific cellular detox modalities. So, I mean, those are the things like fundamentals, right? I mean, so your nutrition, everything. So I didn't know that before because, our so-called sick care system, right? So it's teaching us different, take medication and just, so you don't have the symptom because they're, looking at our body, not as a whole, but, just basically as a band-aid to give us a medication. And that's it. I mean, okay, take this medication and, tomorrow you're going to feel better, but it's not addressing the root cause. So again, I mean, it's just, like understanding that we have this power to heal with our own biology. This is just amazing because I mean, I believe that, we've got this body from God and we have this beautiful mechanism built in inside of our body. It's already built in. We just, need to understand how this mechanism work and what we need to do. So, and so it's a belief, it's, shifting your belief, understanding that. So that's, I mean, one thing that, like holds, like people back. And another thing, maybe not figuring out your big why. So do you know, Ricardo, how, like every December, like people actually, like create this, okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. So that's my New Year resolution for next year. I'm gonna go.
Yes. And then half the
And
time
then
they don't
like
follow it.
why? Because that's exactly why they don't have a big why. They don't have a big why. So it's not about going to the gym. So what is it behind it? Why do I want to do that? So that's a huge one, just it's again, I mean it's your belief, it's your mindset figuring out, why you're doing that and that you have, all the power to change what you're dealing with.
Yeah, because you have to have that intent because it's all about holistic change. What you're saying is not just going and getting a pill or some kind of medication from the doctor. This is about literally changing things about your life, like what you're drinking, what you eat, what kind of supplements you take, sleeping, getting out of situations that are stressful, maybe, and even things like radiation, like cell phone radiation and things like that. You
Huge
know,
one.
those are
Yes.
all
Yes.
things that you need to kind of holistically look at,
Hmm.
to allow your body to not be constantly fighting off stress and actually be able to heal itself. Because if it's been bombarded by all these things, it cannot um, fix itself. Right. So you kind of need to level the playing field and, give it the best conditions for it to
Yes.
um, be able to thrive and to help you to thrive. So I really love what you're doing and taking the holistic approach and auditing people's um, lifestyles and being a coach that helps to transform that. That's really fantastic. Um, I do have some questions though. So, what happens if someone's in a different country to you? Can they still do your program?
Absolutely, yeah. And we again, I mean, I'm actually, like talk more about, how does it work, in, my events. The first thing that, like really, people can do is just, come to, my like a 3-4 hour master class where we, me and, my, expert, team, including the the holistic functional doctors and like my other partner, so we talk about all of that. So we're actually show you the because we just had this conversation for 25 minutes, but we're actually giving this free master class where we teach people, so what is this blueprint, what they can do, right, to actually get the result that they want, and when they struggle with a health issue, or where they just want to reverse aging, and maybe they just want to look younger, or maybe you just want to lose 20 plus pounds of weight, whatever is up for you. So this is why, I mean, I'm so passionate, hosting those events, those, like master classes. And it's more like, very engaging conversation. So it's not like me sitting and lecturing people. No, we are, very engaged. So people, come and bring, like a lunch and, have, like a, coffee or tea, and we're just, so engaged. And, we have this dialogue and we answer their questions, and we show them so they can take what they learned, because it's a transformational event, and actually start applying that tomorrow in their life. This is how it is. It's not just, oh, I just get a bunch of information. So no, they can start, like applying. So this is why, I mean, like just coming to this, event is going to be the very like great first step. And you can do it from any other country. You can do it from any other country, just, to join and to watch and be active during this event.
That's fantastic. And when is the event taking place?
So the next one we're hosting is this Saturday, November 23rd, 9 a.m. Pacific time, which is what is going to be like
New Zealand time. I'm
yeah.
not too sure. I'd have to use the time zone converter, but I'll work it all out and put it into the description of the podcast post, and then I'll also include the link as well, so that
Yes.
users can have a look at it. Yeah, 100%. I'll do that. So, yeah, no, I really encourage anyone who's listening to our podcast now to definitely use the link below and sign up for this masterclass because it's going to be epic, and it could literally change your life, and it could change your health and your outlook. And once your health has improved, every other part of your life will improve as well. Your relationships, your wealth, your energy, even your job, and yeah, everything will improve. Health is the cornerstone of everything. If you don't have health, you don't have wealth. So that is why this masterclass is so important. So please do sign up. Is there a cost to this masterclass at all?
So it's a free masterclass, but I highly encourage to invest. It's only $47. And it just, the cost of, like a 4 cups of coffee if you go consecutively, to Starbucks.
Yeah.
But what you get for the $47, you get an extra, free hour, like with me, with my other host, where we're gonna answer all your questions. So we're gonna actually create your personalized blueprint, and you get tons of gifts from us. So which, we've put together the whole tool set for you. It's an anti-aging tool set that you cannot Google it online. It's a very curated tools that we've put together that's going to completely transform your life. So, I mean, the value of this is much, much more. We just want to really, give it to you, to people who are interested in what we're talking about today. And I want to encourage you guys that you have the power to completely transform your health just with the simple things, with the very simple things that we're teaching in this masterclass. And we're also giving you, all those tools that we are teaching during this masterclass. And we will help you to create your personalized blueprint. So just $47, but you have tons of value, and plus, 1 hour personalized coaching, from me and from my other hosts. So click the link below that Ricardo is gonna, post for, for you guys, and just come hang out with us on Saturday morning, whatever it could be evening for you, because we have people from all over the world joining us. But yeah, but come and hang out with us, and I promise you would not regret this.
That sounds amazing. Now, for the viewers that are seeing this at a future date, after the masterclass has occurred, what are the next steps they would take to basically get in touch with you and transform their
Yes.
health?
Yes, absolutely. So it's very simple. They can always go to angelinakardash.com, and there is a space to like book a call. They can be on top of our events that, again, I mean, we post them. I have Instagram account. It's Angelina Kardash _ method. So you can also find me, and Ricardo, you can also put links to
I'll
where
do
to
that.
find.
Yeah.
I'm on all social media. And just, if you can come to this master class, I mean, by the way, if you sign up, there will be a recording. We'll love having people in the master class, so it's engaging and actually get, more help. But you can also sign up, and you will get recording of this. And again, I mean, just, follow our social media, or, I mean, if you're ready to transform your health, so we can have a session with you. It's basically, to basically help you strategize your health, and during the session you will get all the solutions. So it could be as simple as that. And again, it's angelinakardash.com.
That's fantastic. We'll include that in the links as well. So thank you so much for being here with us today. Do you have any final words that you would like to give to the viewers?
Yes, just believe in what's possible. Believe in what's possible, because again, you have all the power to create the life that you're dreaming of, whether it's, health, whether it's, anything else, but you have all the power in any aspect of your life. So believe in what's possible and create the life that you want.
That is so beautiful. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And what you just said actually lines up perfectly with our closing slogan, which is dream big and build bigger. So thank you again. And to the viewers, we'll see you next time. Cheers.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
Pleasure. Bye.